So for today's card, I'm going to be making a pretty kind of sunset on the water scene using our clear stamp set, cleverly titled Whatever Floats Your Boat. Today I'll be using specifically the sailboat, sun, clouds, and I better throw some birds in there too. I'm also going to be using the Remarks pigment ink, my tape glue runner, some scrap paper for my markers to test, my already Cricut cut outlines, and then I also went to the liberty of finding some fun kind of speckled blotched paper and made just simple waves out of them and pre-cut and pre-measured out this yellow background. So today I'll be on a nice navy textured card. I'm gonna start out with adhering my yellow paper to my card, just so that's done and out of the way. Gonna set some things aside so I have my workspace all ready. Got that ready. I'm gonna get my medium-sized block. Open these guys up. And take my sailboat off. Put that onto my block. I know sometimes it's hard when you're stamping and you don't get an almost perfect impression, but I kind of actually like a little bit of texture, and I think it gives it a bit more character rather than just a perfectly flat sample of ink. So I'm just going to use the boat, the clouds, some birds, and a couple other accessories. I think my plan is to have almost like layering the waves. And I think I'm actually going to kind of tuck the boat in between two of these to make it look like it has more depth and looks a little bit more believable. Kind of something like this. Then I think I'll have my sun. I might actually end up just stamping my birds right onto the paper. And I think I'm going to use some custom letters to create my own phrase. But before I do that, let's color these suckers real quick. I think I'm just going to keep it simple because my background is quite busy, and as is my foreground. I'm going to outline that. I think I'm going to go for a nice light blue for this cloud. Maybe your cloud is a little bit gray or stormy, totally up to you. This part is going to be a little tricky because we're almost going to have to work backwards in comparison to my usual layering technique where I just lay everything out, look at it, okay, looks good, and go from there. I think I'm actually going to do like a partial sandwich, and I'm going to just put some glue right on my wave. And then place my boat. Your boat might be super tilted upwards. It might be even. It's entirely up to you. And then I think I'll just go kind of right there. So just a little bit. I don't want it too overlapped because I still want to see the boat. Don't want it to be completely covered. If you're like me and you're a messy crafter, it doesn't matter what you do. You always have pen or ink or charcoal on your hands. An easy way to kind of get rid of that is just take a pink or a white school eraser and just start buffing that out. What's actually happening is that the adhesive is picking up my fingerprints, which are therefore sticking to the adhesive. So you can just buff it out. That's a little crafting tip. I think to kind of finish this, I'm going to do one more layer in the background so it's not super flat. I think that's what I want to do. Put this on. All right, so today I'm actually going to use my fine line Sharpie to write out a phrase on my card. I have stamped my birds, my boat, sun, clouds, and done some additional layering with my paper, so I thought let's give some hand lettering a shot. I always like to practice before I do any hand lettering on a scrap piece of paper because better safe than sorry. Honestly, I think I'm just going to do something short and simple. And look, I already made a mistake, so thank goodness I was doing it on some scrap. You float my boat. An even better way, if you are super leery and not confident in your own hand lettering, just go over really lightly with a pencil. And that way, again, better safe than sorry. Since this is my Sharpie, I really don't have to wait a whole long time for it to dry down compared to a gel or a traditional wet ink pen. But to test it, just give it a light erase, and you will know right away if it's not set yet. This would look even nicer if you are someone who is versed in calligraphy or more hand lettering. Unfortunately, it's not really my strongest suit, but it's fun to try. All right, last one. And with that, I think I am satisfied with my card today. I used a whole lot of techniques from stamping to coloring to layering, using different types of paper, and honestly, I'm satisfied. Looks good. Now, I made my own card, but we would love to see what you guys make using your own cling stamps from us. To include us in your creations, hit us with a hashtag stamp with us. That again is hashtag stamp with us, and we may feature or comment on your work. Thanks again for joining. Goodbye.